The rivalry between Pakistan and Afghanistan has deep historical roots, and it has been characterized by a complex relationship with periods of cooperation and hostility. Let's delve into more detail on the historical rivalry between Pakistan and Afghanistan. Border dispute, the Durand Line. The Durand Line was established in 1893 by British colonial administrator Sir Mortimer Durand. It divided the Pashtun ethnic group, with some Pashtuns living in what is now Pakistan and others in Afghanistan. The line was drawn without the consent of the local population and has been a source of contention ever since. Afghan non-recognition. Afghanistan has consistently refused to recognize the Durand Line as its legitimate border, which has been a major point of contention between the two countries. Afghanistan has maintained that the border was imposed on it during the colonial period. Afghan refugees. During the Soviet-Afghan War in the 1980s and subsequent conflicts, millions of Afghan refugees sought shelter in Pakistan. The presence of these refugees strained Pakistan's resources, created social and economic challenges, and resulted in social tensions and sometimes hostility between the two nations. The Afghan Civil War, 1992-1996. Following the withdrawal of Soviet forces from Afghanistan, the country descended into civil war. Various Afghan factions, backed by regional powers, fought for control. Pakistan supported the Afghan Taliban, while other factions were backed by Iran, India, and Russia. The Taliban regime, 1996-2001. When the Taliban came to power in Afghanistan, Pakistan was one of the few countries that officially recognized their government, leading to further tension with the Afghan government, which had been ousted by the Taliban. Cross-border attacks. Afghanistan has accused Pakistan of harboring and supporting militant groups that launch attacks across the border. The Afghan government has long alleged that the Pakistani military's intelligence agency, the ISI, has provided support to groups like the Afghan Taliban. Pakistan, on the other hand, is concerned about cross-border attacks by militants who it believes are based in Afghanistan. This has resulted in military operations on the Pakistani side of the border and accusations of inaction on the Afghan side. Influence of external powers, the US involvement. After the 9/11 attacks, the US and its allies became heavily involved in the region. The US relied on Pakistan for support in its war on terror but also expressed concerns about the alleged Pakistani support for Afghan insurgent groups. This complicated the relationship between Pakistan, Afghanistan, and the US. Cultural and ethnic ties, the Pashtun factor. Both Afghanistan and Pakistan have significant Pashtun populations. The Pashtuns share common cultural and ethnic ties that often transcend the border. This has created complex loyalties and allegiances, contributing to the regional dynamics. Economic and trade issues, trade routes and tariffs. Disputes over trade routes, tariffs, and access to markets have also been a point of contention. Both countries have the potential to benefit economically from increased trade, but disagreements have hindered progress in this regard. While Pakistan and Afghanistan have seen periods of cooperation and efforts to improve their relationship, the factors mentioned above continue to shape their interactions. The situation remains complex, with the withdrawal of foreign forces from Afghanistan and ongoing efforts to reach a political settlement within the country. The future of Pakistan-Afghanistan relations is influenced by a multitude of internal and external factors and remains uncertain.